Okay, let's talk a little bit about folder structure. Being organized in your workflow is one thing, but also being organized in your file and folder structure is another thing. If you just toss things into a folder loosely without naming them or without labeling the folder where they're at, it gets to be super complicated to find things down the line. And so as a professional or advanced amateur, you want to be able to recover or recall some of these files in the future so you don't have to go and search. And so the idea here is to create an initial folder structure that helps keep everything organized and keeps everything where you would expect. Okay, and so this is a proposed structure. It's the one I use, and it doesn't mean it's the end all be all, but it's really, really helpful. So let me go through this. Basically, I have one folder that contains my entire photo collection, and that's what we're looking at here. This is inside of that folder. You'll see it says a raw across the top, raw, work, and output. And the way I've organized this is all my raw files go into the raw folder. Makes sense, right? All the work files, whether they're Photoshop documents, TIFF files, or whatever you're working on to create that final image, goes in the work folder. And then the output folder consists of anything that's either going to print, going on a website, whatever, going to email, whatever you need that file for. Okay, so we have basically those three folders comprise our entire photo library. Now within the raw folder, you can have them all loose, but I don't recommend that. You can set it up so that they're imported by date. You can do it by project name, whatever's easiest for you, or client name, whatever's easiest. Okay, so here you can see I have photo shoot, the client name, and then the date that folder was imported. And that folder consists of a bunch of raw files. Okay, raw files coming from my digital camera. Multiple folders. Here I just did a sampling of 4, but there's a lot more in there. The work folder, again, Photoshop documents and whatnot. So we'll get into the process when we get into showing you how to use Adobe Camera Raw and using this folder structure. But if you set it up initially, it makes things a lot easier. Also, when you're going to back your work up, you only have to back up that one folder. And I can't iterate enough and reiterate enough that you need to have multiple copies of your files, which means you want to have multiple backups. In an ideal situation, you'll have your one on your computer, you'll have one in an external hard drive, and then maybe you'll have another copy of the whole thing in the cloud, on Dropbox or Box or one of these other remotely accessible services. Okay, so you'll have 3 copies somewhere. Computers fail, and you don't want to be caught, with a client and then ask for the files and you can't recover them because you only had a little USB backup. Okay, so this is a proposed structure. Again, it's just an idea to get you started, and if you have a better solution, by all means. Okay, see you in the next video.